Okay, so in this video, I'm going to just introduce this book because it's been one of my favorite books for a long time, and I recently tried to look for copies of it and couldn't find any. I even wrote to the people who were in the foreword and authored it or anything, and it's as if it just kind of isn't there. So, because this book is like on its last legs again, now I feel like I'm some kind of historian. I had this urge to read. It's kind of a short book, but look, it's been through all this drama. I bought it in the 90s at the Survival Center in McKenna, Washington. They had, and maybe still are there, a really good collection of books. So anyway, I thought of reading it. I'm going to just show this in an effort to preserve it, but also because, I'm just sort of breaking myself into using this channel. So I think I'll go ahead and read the preface. Oh, wait a minute, hang on. What it's basically, see, look, here's all this. Okay. A World Within a World, X-7 reporting. Here's this. Transmissions from Russia on the theory and practice of solar light radiations by the group known as X-7. Gee, look at Mr. Lion over there. Okay. And here's this. First published in, I can't see till 1981 by the Finhorn Foundation, and that's who I contacted. And the people running Finhorn didn't have this, or the lady that responded in an email, this was probably a couple years ago when I asked. So anyway, so here's the preface that's written by, oops, look, these books are just falling apart. Crickets actually invaded it. Okay, so here's the foreword by Mr. George Trevelyan, however you say it. Okay, so that's pretty long. Okay, so I'm going to read this because this tells basically what's in here. I can't hold the camera on it while I read because I have to. Okay, so it says, in the early 1960s, here, y'all can look at, all right. In the early 1960s, the typewritten manuscript of a book, A World Within a World, came into Rosamund Lehman's hands. I'm not sure I looked her up or not. It consisted of messages received telepathically by a sensitive in America, not from a disincarnate source, but allegedly from prisoners of conscience held underground in Russia. It records how, tested to the limits of their endurance, in their extremity, they prayed to a God they felt had forsaken them and were shown the way. It is a way of light, the way shown by the Master Jesus. Some of the experiences of transformation are recorded factually as a blueprint for the change of consciousness which we have been told is mankind's next step in evolution. The source of such a document, like teachings from a disincarnate source, cannot be proved objectively. The material has an inner authenticity which carries its own conviction and must, we feel, evoke a response in those truly concerned with man's inner being. Some years ago, the writer of this MS period found herself telepathically receiving the words of men unseen and unknown to her. This volume is only one of many such recordings, some of which dwell upon the radiations of color and sound as they affect the planet Earth. These messages are from men imprisoned in Russia, so they say, dwelling in underground caverns, their daily measure of food barely sustaining life. Within these pages is their story as they learned to respond to such conditions, of the help given them, and the results of their discovery that life can be maintained even under the most dire circumstances if the spirit within man is permitted to take charge of his being. Through these recordings, they tell us that the man Jesus came to them when their spirits were at the lowest ebb. At first, they thought it to be a hallucination brought about by their imprisonment within the earth and by lack of enough food or drink to sustain their physical beings. They fully expected to die of starvation, yet grimly clung to life in their physical bodies without hope, yet apparently sustained by an invisible power. This state of being continued for many days until it seemed the body could no longer contain life. It was then that the Master Jesus appeared to them, fully alive, clad in a luminous robe of bliss. He spoke, telling them that they were immortal, that it was required of them that the mortal body be preserved as proof of their soul strength, and promising them that he would sustain them until they had proved that which they were sent to prove. So then the story begins. Now, if one person wants me to read the whole book in short videos, I'll do that. Okay, so just take one person to say, yeah, read the whole book. Then I'll get my mind off of Emerson for a while and I'll read the rest of it. And here's the back. And if anybody's interested and wants to see, look at all this. See, some of these are gone, these publishing things. But anyway, looky here, see. Anyway, this is just my favorite book forever, what happens in these chapters. And it's relatively short. Oops, can't be showing no legs. Okay, so anyway, there's that. Okay, yeah, if just one comment says, read the book, I'll do it. Otherwise, this will be enough for anyone who wants to research it or anything like that. Okay, bye.